Welcome, race fans, to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway. Welcome to our radio listeners on KCSI FM 95.3 out of Red Oak, Iowa, and our YouTube listeners on the KCSI Live channel on our YouTube channel here. We welcome you. Sorry for a little bit of a late delay. We had a little electrical problem with our hookup. Couldn't get our dial tone, so we got all that straightened out. Thank goodness Aaron and Melanie are both here tonight, so got some surprises for you later on before we sign off tonight also. But, hey, welcome to racing. Beautiful weather. That's what I call the old Chamber of Commerce weather tonight. No threat of weather to come in here as far as rain like that. In our background, hopefully you'll be able to see the water tanks and water trucks going around the track. And here before the show's over, you'll get to see some cars going around the track doing some hot laps. But I tell you what, this is 3 weeks in a row for us, kind of like last year. We started off with some rain cancellations, and then we raced the entire year without a rain out. So I think some of our local farmer friends would prefer that we don't have that problem, because we could sure use some weather once in a while for some rain. But hey, we're racing, guys, and have my son Evan beside me, Cole here. What do you guys think? Ready for some racing tonight?
Well, I tell you, we got to fill Cole in from last week because he wasn't here. He called me, and I was drinking a beer, and he called me, and he said...
I was doing the same.
Yeah, he called me. He's like, "How did everything go?" Because Kansas got over. He was down at Kansas Speedway, and I said, "You probably missed one of the greatest races that this track's ever seen in that hobby stock class." We'll talk with Buddy Heidzik later tonight, but holy smokes, what a feature! We'll get some insight on Buddy, and hopefully he can tell us a little bit more about the race. But when I told Cole that Buddy passed Luke for the win, what'd you say?
I mean, I just couldn't believe it. You know how many times that Luke has stolen the show from Buddy, and so, no, I was just really happy for Buddy. I actually did get to go and watch it thanks to Darla Davis.
Yep.
You know, she posts her videos and went back and watched it. I was a little confused at first because I saw Jim Toll out front, and I was like, well, Jim just won.
Everybody said that. Everybody was saying the same thing. Everybody's like, what's this 22 car doing? And he was a lap car.
Yeah,
so.
I hadn't realized he had issues on the track, and so, but no, that was good for Buddy, and I'm glad we had a video of it to get to go back and watch. So
yeah, it was an action-packed weekend for sure. We had a lot of great races. The stock car feature, it was bottom dominant, and then Logan was getting pretty frustrated with the racetrack. So what we did was we pushed out some implement tires and took the bottom away a little bit from those modified guys last. The hobby stocks, you know, it's a different tire, so it was a totally different race, but. The stock cars were around the bottom, but the modifieds was another great show too. Josh Cooper got out by almost a full straightaway, and then Chubbs tracked him down. So caution came out, and Cooper was just a sitting duck. But great racing last week. We had some technical difficulties for the radio show too, because we had storms in the area, and we couldn't start the radio until about 5:30. We started on YouTube at 5, but about 5:30, we finally got the radio going, and we had to make sure that we had some ads going, as many as we could, and then we had another issue with I can't remember what our other issue was, why we had so many ads. Oh, the Skylapad was...
my computer system, I forgot to put the... when it logs out after 15 minutes or so, I forgot to change that, and it was logging me out, so I couldn't go to commercials correctly. So I thought we were in commercial break, and we weren't. So it's like music. I don't know. We got it all figured out. It's scratching it off to early season jitters. But you knew we had weather in the area because I think you had dealt with it down in Kansas City when you were down there. And,
yeah.
I knew you had some rain there, but it was frustrating because we get here about 4 o'clock and this big cell develops down around Shenandoah, and I'm like, that thing's heading right for us. And it decided to split and went away. Bedford got hit with some hail, I guess, but we were doing some play-by-play on the radar there to try to tell people, hey, make sure you come to the races because we're going to be racing. So
yeah. No, it was the same situation down in Kansas City. Actually, during qualifying, there was a big old cloud that rolled in, and I was like, oh, boy, here we go. It's going to start dumping, but it held off. Luckily, that cloud was what got my boy Willie B the pole. So
yeah, it was a good night of racing down there too. I know we got stuff planned for the fall. We're going to go down. We're going to be done racing in the fall, so we'll be able to go down to Kansas Speedway for the fall race and take care of that. So, but I feel really bad for Cole because he missed out on a lot of good stuff last week, but it's all right. So I do got the chat opened on YouTube. Make sure you send in your comments. I got my buddy Britt Swartz saying good-looking guys right there. Have a good night. Tim Birdsall, who sang the national anthem last week, he is going to he's going to go. I think he's singing again tonight, isn't he?
I believe so.
Have you talked to him?
Last I know he's been
he
here.
commented right here. He said, "See you in a bit." So
yep, he's going to be here.
he is a veteran, so it's good to have him. It's good to have live national anthem singing. My idea was if Tim wasn't going to be here, I think we should have Cole sing it.
Oh, no, you don't want that. You'll have people walking out the gate. So, no, I work with Tim, and I know he was telling me last week he was really excited to do that and enjoyed getting to do it. So I'm excited to be able to hear him tonight. I was a little upset I missed it last week, but so yeah, just glad he's coming back.
Yeah, he did a good job, and he told me it was quite amazing how good our speakers did. He could really hear himself sing, and we got good stuff down here for sure. And but again, race fans, if you want Cole to sing the national anthem, comment on this YouTube. I need some. I need some yeses.
It's nice to get some comments, to respond to. Too.
I'm telling you, you want people in the stands. That's not going to be one way to get it.
You radio show listeners, that's a good way to contact.
You can do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Go onto the YouTube live channel and log in there and go to the comments, and you can comment us, and we can respond to them, no problem. But also on top of that, tonight we have a new sponsor for tonight. Weekly Racing for tonight is our sponsor this week is Haughey Truck Repair out of Bedford, Iowa. Very happy to have them on board. I know they were very excited to be. They've done some work on our water truck that we just got, and we were able to work a deal with them. And we're very, very happy to have them on board. Love local sponsors as much as we possibly can get. We like to plug them as well as we can. But any of your big rig truck repair, make sure you go down to Haughey Truck Repair in Bedford, Iowa. Those guys have been great for us, and I know they're great for everybody in Southwest Iowa. And we're very happy to have them tonight, sponsoring tonight's races.
They did some work on our new water truck. It's used, but it's new for us.
You can see that there.
Hopefully you might see it tonight. We're using the water wagon still a little bit, but
it puts out a lot of water, so he's to the point now where he doesn't need as much water, I think.
Yep. We stuck an old screwdriver in about noonish today on the top and the bottom, and she went in pretty easy. So it may not look like there's a lot of moisture on the surface, but underneath it's still there. So
we got a good 2 inches. I think it was Tuesday night. I think it was.
Yeah, we got quite a bit of rain. So
and we got a few sprinkles during the week. Got a little sprinkle this morning, but didn't amount to anything. But on top of that, we're going to hit it up again just like we did last week. If you can see, those of you that are watching, you can see the back of my computer. The Advance My Track Challenge, $50,000 we're going for. We are one of the top 5 tracks that's made it to the final 5 of this again. Asking you to go on to
my Vanna White here.
Yeah, Advance My Track Challenge. Go online, vote for. It's real easy when you go in there to vote because we're alphabetical. We're the first ones. You don't have to go scrolling anywhere. You just click Adams County Speedway and you can vote 3 times a day. So this lasts through next Tuesday. So we need your help as much as possible. Vote 3 times a day with every email you can possibly think of. Tell your friends. Invent some emails. We need that support. We're going against some big tracks in Alaska and one in Canada. It's kind of interesting to see them. They have a website that's in French and in English. It's kind of interesting. South Carolina and New York. So we're going against a lot of big tracks. We are not the only dirt track this year. We can't just say we're the sole dirt track nation, but we're the heart and soul of dirt track racing right here in Iowa. But we really appreciate your support and would love to have you go on to Advance My Track Challenge. Vote for us 3 times a day all the way through Thursday. We need your support as much as possible.
There's a cheat code, too, that 3 times is 1 email. I've created 3 or 4 fake emails just for this.
Yep. So,
and then I delete them when I'm done. So that's kind of a cheat code you can do there. And just, if you feel like doing that, just create a couple emails and just use them. It's very easy to do. And if you do it on your mobile device, again, it saves all your stuff for you. For those older individuals, if you're using a laptop or a desktop computer,
no, that's really old.
Copy and paste. It's probably the best way to do it. But John Kinzer's commenting on here and saying, "Get fluffy on that mic for the national anthem."
Yeah. He's probably going to be the only one that actually wants to see that because he just wants to give me some grief about it. So.
Hey, well, you guys give him enough grief at work, I'm sure, because he's been a little bit on the he was a little bit on the struggle bus last week. He told me, he was like, man, he's like, I just can't get this car figured out. I'm like, John, you're going to be okay. So
yeah, no, he comes into the group chat and it's probably about the 200th time he's told us he's selling everything, packing it up, done racing. So he'll go out and get a good finish one of these nights, and then he'll be like, all right, well, we're good for another couple of years.
Yep,
get
we're good.
Taste of it. You bet. So yeah, so on top of that, a couple things I want to mention real quick. Can't look past Hahi Trucking helping us out, but we got some events coming up that I want to make sure we mention. Especially on the 27th of May, we have the Budweiser is presenting the Western Iowa non-winged sprint. The Western Iowa non-winged sprint cars. I'll spit it out. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a 3-track series. We'll be doing it with 36 Speedway down in Missouri. They'll be on Friday night. We'll be on Saturday night. And I think they're going to another track unofficially on Sunday. But they're promising a lot of cars this year. So we're really looking forward. If you want to see sprint cars, and I know we usually have some fans that are pretty excited about that. That's going to be the 27th of May. And then our first Super Late Model Series, which is always a huge event, will be June 3rd, the Ray Memorial. Malvern Super Late Models will be here, 3,000 to win. That's always an awesome show. One of 3 races we'll have this year, so looking forward to that as well. So want to make sure we get that out there and make sure everybody understands that. Other than that, we're going to have at least 5 guests tonight. Hopefully,
yeah, I think.
Hopefully the Coon Dog, Tim Cooney's going to make it over
We've
here.
got Daniel Bowther on the docket tonight. He was our B-Mod feature winner last week. We got Buck Shafroth hopefully coming up about 5:45-ish. And then we also have
I think Owen Richards is going to be
Owen Richards,
first.
compact driver, coming up here. And we'll get some talk with some feature winners from last week.
Yep.
And once again, this is Hahi Truck Repair tonight. Good to have them on board. And they're just a local company. They're out of Bedford. If they're on Highway 2, if you go down to Bedford from the Corning area, you take a left, go down to Highway 2, you go past the pool down there, go around the corner down the bottom there by kind of where the baseball, softball fields are. That's where they're located down there. So make sure you, if you need any sort of truck, semi, anything like that, any big rig, anything like that, they do some great work down there. So make sure you tell them thanks for sponsoring tonight for us.
On top of that, tonight, as you're making your way to the track, we'll have a little bit of half entertainment at intermission tonight, too. So be a surprise, hopefully, for a few moms. So hopefully, because it's going to be Mother's Day tomorrow night, or tomorrow all day. Excuse me, never mind. All day tomorrow. So get that out there right now. Happy birthday to my mom, avid KCSI listener. So get that out there right now, and happy Mother's Day tomorrow. Be a fun day tomorrow, and we'll get that going. But wishing all you moms out there a happy Mother's Day. On top of that, I think Buddy Heisek's going to be over here too. We said.
Yep.
So other than that,
we're going to take a quick break really quick here.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll get back here, and hopefully our first guest will be here, and we'll be right back with you. So hopefully, let me check to see if this breaks will go too. So we're going to try to see if we'll go to commercials. I have to log back in. And it didn't, so I get to log back in again today. So just bear with us. We're going to keep talking here for a minute while I go back into...
I don't know if you guys know this, but as you age, you tend to forget things a lot. And I've told them multiple times that you have to refresh and refresh and refresh, and I think we did this about 3 or 4 times last week where he's forgetting to click the refresh button. So we're gonna go to break as soon as he gets the.
Just watch this.
And I don't know if you race fans know this, but you can see this computer. This computer is from the Civil War era too. So it's I think it was when the Confederate Army was still fighting the Union forces.
It works good for me.
That's how old this computer is. So.
Hey, let's see if we can take a commercial break. How about that? Got it.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels, giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camlin Mechanical or visit camlinmechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Even if it's been years since you graduated, Your college team is your team for life. Well, you can have a Farm Bureau agent for life, and auto, and home and business insurance. Imagine that. One insurance agent for everything. It's that simple. So get a Farm Bureau agent for life.
Contact Farm Bureau Agent Elizabeth Davison in Clarinda and Shenandoah at 712-621-2878 for all your insurance and financial needs.
Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today. Are you interested in starting a career instead of just...
Let us help insulate your home with Heartland Foam.
No matter what your insulation needs are, Heartland Foam Insulators is your go-to company. From removal to blow-in to foam, they are ready to go to work for you in any type of building, whether it be an existing house, new construction, a metal building, commercial building, or a unique project. Call Heartland Foam Insulators today at 712-623-4515 or heartlandfoam.com.
Welcome, race fans, back to Pitside live here on the KCSI 95.3 radio out of Red Oak, and we're also live on the YouTube channel, on the KCSI YouTube channel. I know we're a little bit laggy on the YouTube, so the voices aren't laggy, but we're just a little bit laggy with the display. So we're going to check the network here, and again, we're running on Wi-Fi. We're not running on a direct landline, so it's unfortunately something that we just gotta have to deal with tonight.
Oh yeah.
So, but this guy in this lovely pink shirt here, this is Owen Richards. This is our compact feature winner from last week, and holy smokes, what happened with that, man?
Man, it was a crazy race for sure. It was definitely one to remember for sure, from starting 14th and making all the way to first. But
you put on a show, man. You put on a show for the fans, and we really appreciate that. You've been running here on and off now for several years, and your dad also used to race with you, and he doesn't race anymore. Now you're the main guy, and just from a standpoint of where you were at, did you expect to win, especially coming from 14th? I'm sure probably not.
No, not really. I mean, I didn't do so good in the heat race. I finished 5th.
Yeah.
And realized, came back, I was pushing bad, and I checked the toe and it was out, so I had to fix that. Got back out there in the feature, I'm just gonna go balls to the walls. I'm just gonna full sends.
Full send,
get it. So, man,
that's Cole's motto in iRacing, right?
Yeah,
full send. But Cole wasn't here last week, so I'm kind of just asking some questions from what I can remember from last week up here in the announcer's booth. But I know it was on, I think it was one of the last restarts. You and Xander were going at it quite a bit there, and you made a pass there on the front stretch, and you had him cleared by, I think, that much, because if it was 3 inches that way, I think he would have been in the wall. So
it was a very close call. My heart dropped whenever that happened. So
well, I think he gave you a little bit of a bone. He threw you a little bit of a bone too, because I think he let off a little bit, because you probably thought you had him cleared, but you had a great run out of 4, and you know, with these compacts, these long straightaways, you think you're clear, but you're not. But you made the move when it counted, and I know that you were pretty excited there after the race. I was telling Cole we had great races all night last weekend. I mean, John Berg was leading for a little bit and then blew it off the top, and that kind of opened the door for you. So tell me a little bit about how the car was. What allowed you to go from 14th to first last week? What are some things you remember?
The biggest thing was just confidence and just, like I said, I mean, I'm here to win, not make friends. So I'm here to do the best I can and try to do whatever I can every night. So
you went to Stewart on Wednesday, I saw as well. Totally different racetrack. So what are some plans? What you got going on this year? Where are you going to be racing? Do you have a plan? What's the overall idea here?
So the plan is I'm going to try to run for points here in Stewart, but if anything happens, like we get canceled here, I'm going to run up to I-35 in Winston and run up there a couple races.
Yeah, so. I mean, I've never been. Have you been down to Winston?
Yeah, I've been down there a couple times. Yep.
So it's
a pretty solid track.
But compacts is something that John started in a compact. I know. Have you ever wanted to drive a compact?
I don't know. I've had thoughts about it. I honestly, like, sometimes it scares me, man. The restarts, you guys get after it, and I don't know. I'd feel like
we're fanning out 4 or 5 wide sometimes on the front stretch. I'm like, what is going on here? And I know a lot of it is that I've asked guys this question before: automatic, manual transmission, shifting down, shifting up. That's a big part of it, right? Mm-hmm. What are you running?
5-speed.
5-speed. And what speed are you in on the restart? What gear are you going into? And
third gear.
Third gear, and then you're jumping up. And are you fifth gear by the time you're down here in turn 1?
Oh no. You start. I'm in second. I shift up to third right before the start.
Okay.
And you stay in third.
Okay.
Me, so
gotcha. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but again, is there a shift point? Is there a place where you got it dialed down? Where you shift? Do you just feel it? What is it? I'm just curious because I know everybody's different.
Usually,
rev limiter.
Usually, yeah. I mean, I get it up to about 6,000 RPMs, and then right around this turn, shifted into third, and it gets a little kickstart. So
yeah, I mean, and I know some drivers are better than others, and I feel like that's one of the big reasons why we're always 4-5 wide, because some guys are running automatics, and it's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. So, but racetrack was great last week. I remember it was you guys were the first feature of the night, so it still probably had a little bit of moisture in there, but you made the moves when it counted. But when you start 14th, is there a different mentality? Are you patient? But like you said, you were balls to the wall. You're just trying to get to the front as fast as you can, or?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I'm doing it smart. I don't want to, cause any wrecks or anything. I want to pass right, not take someone out trying to pass them. So,
and we like to see the 4-bangers banging on each other a little bit, right?
Oh yeah,
that's what we like to see.
It's any class you like to see some good close racing. Not where they're wrecking, but yeah.
I mean, compact racing is fairly new to this racetrack. It's very different, this racetrack, because this is some of the highest speeds you're ever going to go in a 4-cylinder.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of guys like to race down here, because you guys can actually get the things at the speed, and you can actually see what the car's made of, and it actually puts a little bit of pressure on your equipment a little bit more, instead of just, like at Stewart, it's more of momentum through the corners. Here it's just high speed, and I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like I'd be a little bit nervous racing around here in a 4-cylinder.
I mean, at first I was. When I first started racing here, I was pretty scared. I mean, I didn't know how to race on this track.
Well, you were, I don't know if you were one of the first compact drivers to ever race here. Yeah. When we started compacts down here several years ago, you and your dad, and we had Chris and Brian Van Osdale, you guys were one of the first ones to ever race here in a compact. I don't know if you know that, if probably remember that, but that's what I remember. It was a purple car, right?
Yeah.
And it had the yellow 69 on it. That's what I remember. So it's been a while now. So you're getting older, more experience.
Making me feel old.
But so your dad's helping you. I'm sure you got a lot of other people helping you. What are you running for equipment this year? What you got? You got a Chevy Cavalier?
Yeah, Cavalier.
Shocker. That's what everybody drives. Ecotech?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what everybody drives. So one more question while I'm thinking about it too. When we think about equipment, and things like that and set up. Is there a lot you can really do, especially at this racetrack, to get that car, maybe a little bit faster? Something, I know we got to keep them as stock as possible, but...
I mean, really the biggest thing is tire pressures here. You got to run the right tire pressures. If you have the wrong tire pressures, you will be all over the track, and you can go over the bank. That's one of the biggest things with these compacts is tire pressures. For sure.
Interesting, so you can grab a little more.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I know Cole's fairly new to the compact game. I know when you started announcing, you were like, I don't know a lot of these guys, but you're getting into it more, and you guys have been putting on great shows this year too.
Yeah, they put on some good racing. I find myself on the edge of my seat every night, and it just seems like, and I like that. It always seems like there's somebody new up there every week. It's not the same guys dominating every week, and I mean, you'll have some guys go back to back every now and then, but. It's awesome to see so many faces go to victory lane in a season. So
especially like you, Owen, it's good to see you in victory lane because I know you were one of the original ones down here, and it's good to see you back in victory lane. It's very rewarding, I know, for you to be in victory lane, beating a guy like Brian Van Osdale and John Berg, who's our former track champion. They make you earn it, and now we got Dustin Shepard, who's really strong too. Xander Steiner's really strong this year. They make you earn it, and I know that you put on some good laps last week and made the moves when it counted, and you did it for the most part. It was very clean racing. That's one thing that I've seen over these years, how it's changed here in Corning. We went from the first 4 or 5 years, it was pretty dirty down here. A lot of guys were beating and banging. And you guys are really starting to figure it out, figure the racetrack out, figure out what you can and cannot do. And you guys are really putting on great racing. So, but I know you probably get out of here and do some work, but you got a lot of people you probably need to thank and some sponsors you can announce here on YouTube that this will be on the radio, and they can go back and listen to you talk to over and over again. I don't know if you know this, but this will be on YouTube, and they can listen to you again and again. So,
I guess I'd like to thank my dad for the most part, and Dustin Grout for helping me build the car. Tim, Blake, and Isaac for helping work on the car when I was out at college. Couldn't really work on it as much. My sponsors, I'd like to thank Race Hard. I'm trying to think. So many.
You don't have a list, so I'm very impressed because most guys, get a list and they try to make sure they don't miss anybody, but you're doing a good job. So anybody else you want to thank off the top of your head you can think of?
Not at the moment. I can't think of them.
But, we'll get you out of here, Owen. We're going to get my dad back in here. We got to get Skylapad back open again here. But good luck tonight. Hopefully you can talk to me again in victory lane and back to back. And it sounds like you're going to hopefully be running for points this year too. So we wish you luck throughout the season. Hopefully everything stays straight for you, and you can keep your equipment nice and clean, and hopefully it'll be good racing all year long. We appreciate the support too. So
yes, thank you.
All right, race fans, that was Owen Richards, driver of the 69 Compact. We'll get you out of here, and then we'll get my dad back in here. But Cole, I know we're going to go through some results really quick here of our compact feature from last week. Really quick here. Top 10 in your floating vine compacts. 10th place was Caden Foote out of Bedford, Iowa, new racer. 9th place, Cody Albee out of Shenandoah. 8th place was Ellen Lang out of Staples, Minnesota. Thank you for coming down. We really appreciate it. 7th place was Chris Hutt out of Osceola. 6th place was Brian Van Osdale out of Glenwood, Iowa. He had somebody else's car last week. It was a black car. Oh, you need. I need to turn your mics back up.
04, I do believe, was the car number.
Yeah, I don't know whose car it was.
I'm not either.
I don't think Brian's racing tonight. He's going to be running one of our tow trucks tonight.
He's help us a little night.
So, and moving into your top 5 for your floating vine compacts, last week's feature top 5 was Tyler Housley in the 15H out of Glenwood. 4th place was Xander Steiner out of Shenandoah in the 5 car. 3rd place was John Berg. Interesting race for John. He blew it off the top. Blew a tire and then came back in and got 3rd. So it was a good race for him, good rebound for him.
Yep.
2nd place, Andrew Akers, very good race for Andrew. He's out of Gravity, and we just talked to him. Our feature winner was out of Creston, the 69 car of Owen Richards. You need to sign back into this, by the way, your Skylapad.
Yeah, we'll do that. So what, you want to go to a commercial here pretty quick?
Yeah, here pretty quick. But Cole, I need to get your opinion on these compacts compared to other racetracks. What do you think?
Well, I tell you what, there's not many tracks that I feel like when you go and there's a compact race that it gets you excited. You know, there's just a lot of good racing at this track. The only other track I can really think of is maybe Marshalltown, where they race pretty well, but
high bank, high speed. Yep.
I just think the tracks where they can get up to speed, and it doesn't, you know, you don't have to rely on, you know, a lot of momentum through tight corners. I don't know. They just seem to race well at these big tracks. So
and I know there's a big stereotype that circulates around the area too, that compacts don't belong on a big racetrack. And we have proven that rumor wrong over and over and over again. We went there, I think, you know, several years ago where, yeah, we were having, you know, bad luck with our compacts, and they were going off the racetrack, and you know, they'd have a rollover, or their equipment wasn't up to par and things like that. But we've really started to crack down on our safety, for one thing, making sure these cars are safe. And number two is, I feel like our driver talent has improved here. And there's a chunk of them that put on a great show every night, and they don't tear up their equipment. They know exactly what they need. Like Owen said, tire pressures. Also, make sure when they're picking a car, make sure it's, you know, the frame's not Swiss cheese, you know, stuff like that. They're making
thing
sure.
Is, you know, too, is a lot of them have learned. You know, we have those wrecks. It's rookies. A lot of them learn you can't save it with the compact going off the top. You have to go straight off. That's where the problem comes in. But also, we've interviewed so many compact drivers over the years, and I asked them the same question, and it's the Ricky Bobby thing. It's, why do you like coming here to race your compact? Because I want to go fast. You know, I like to go fast. That's why they like coming here. They get up to speed here, and a lot of the smaller tracks, they don't get up to speed like they want. You know, love to. That's what most racers do. They like to go fast.
Well, my biggest thing with these compacts is I hear so many rumors that say, "Well, why do you want to go to Corning? Because it's too fast. It's hard equipment. Blah blah blah." We have proven that rumor wrong so many times, and I would invite any compact driver to come down here that doesn't normally race with us and race with us, because you are going to have the time of your life, because you are flying on this place, and it's super fun. Again, all of our local guys will say the same thing. I know, like John Berg said in the past, too, he's like, when I go to a smaller racetrack, I feel like it's easier because I'm not going as fast. This really develops my talent down here when I'm going so fast. And our compact drivers are pretty dang good at it. They're starting to get really good at it. So
they put on a good show. I'll tell you what, that race last week, there was like 6 guys up there just battling it out there, right?
Oh yeah,
for a long time. It's crazy. Fun,
you know, they rub on each other, but it's not dirty racing.
No,
so
they'll get used. You know, it works itself out. And we got a couple more guests here waiting, so I'm going to get this thing set up for a commercial again, and we're going to take a quick break again, and we'll be right back with special guest. You just stay right there, Cole, because I know you want to interview a couple of these guys, no problem.
Yep.
So wait a minute here. I got to try this again. So I love this. I love technology, because I got to get Aaron in here to get my computer set up better.
Well, here's the idea.
Maybe I'll bring a newer computer.
Here's
next
the idea.
Week. Okay, you know,
we get a newer computer.
Okay, I'll bring the new one next week. I love my old computer.
Yeah, I don't, because when I go into his office and try to use it, it takes me 5 years just to get a site going. Because it's
okay. I promise we're gonna go to
spinning
commercial
wheel.
break now.
All right.
You can go 2 to go.
Furniture, appliances, mattress sets, lift chairs, bedding, recliners, and more. S&S Appliance, your hometown furniture store in Clarinda, just received a large shipment of appliances. They have a huge selection of stoves, refrigerators, chest freezers, and microwaves. And if you need a mattress set, they have them. Plus bamboo sheet sets. They offer full service from start to finish with competitive price guarantee. S&S Appliance also offers delivery and installation. Stop by S&S Appliance on the square in downtown Clarinda.
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda. We want to be your GM dealer. We have highly qualified and trained technicians ready to work on your vehicle. Anything from recalls to warranty work and beyond, we are your GM dealer. Our service department is open 6 days a week for all your service needs. We even have an express lane for those no appointment quick oil changes. Visit our website at shoremotor.com to request an appointment, or give Mike or Amanda a call at 712-542-6581. We are your GM dealer. Shore Motor Company, just south of the square in beautiful Clarinda.
Just as your local State Farm agent teams combine good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. This is your local State Farm agent, Dave Carball, and we promise to deliver the service you deserve at the price you want. My State Farm team will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call us today at 712-623-5639 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here on KCSI 95.3 radio and also on the KCSI YouTube channel. We got a new guest here. We got a guy who has been, the car has been just downright fast, especially on exits of every single corner. We got Daniel Bowler out of Fontenelle, Iowa. What's up, man?
Not much. How's it going?
It's going, man. You've been very impressive this year with the old Edge chassis, and you have been getting everybody on your exit of 4, your exit of 2. This thing's got some drive. Are you running an open?
No, I wish I was.
You look like you're running an open.
I'd like to. I think that'd be fun to try, but no, I'm still just running the little crate.
So I've asked quite a few of these B-Mod drivers. I've just been curious to see what are some opinions. The half-mile racetrack, how many of you run an open? How many? It's about half and half now, I think.
Yeah.
I know Evan Davis has switched to an open.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Paul always ran an open. But you got guys like you. I think all the Edge guys run crate. Jared Weston. So. I think all you guys do. So
I guess I don't know if Bryce does still or not.
I'm not sure.
He's the only one I'm not really sure about.
Kralick's always ran an open.
Yep.
So what's the overall opinion on that?
I guess I don't know if I got a real strong opinion one way or another. I guess I've never ran an open, so I guess I don't know the difference. But I mean, I think you see it definitely when it's a heavier track. You definitely can see a little bit of a difference. It's hard to keep up, and keep that momentum up with those guys. But I think when it dries out, that really evens it up a lot closer. It's not so bad. I think there's maybe a little bit still some advantage to the open motor. If you get a little tight or something, you can kind of use the gas to turn maybe. I don't know.
I was thinking straightaway speed a little bit too. Does that seem to be maybe halfway down the straightaway? I don't know if it's just pole speed a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I guess, well, I mean, like you said, I've been so strong on exits. I guess maybe by the time I'm pulling on exit, and we get matched up again, maybe I'm not noticing it as much, maybe per se to somebody else. But
well, Cole wasn't here last week, so I was just filling him in a little bit on he called me just filling him in a little bit about how you won last week, but you had to earn it.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't something where you got out front,
right.
And it was a great race. We had great races in every class, and you had some bad luck last year.
Yeah. We struggled a little bit.
You got in some in some wrecks where it was just not your fault. Wrong place, wrong time, and you've been up front in clean air this year, and I really do feel like you got this car figured out now.
Yeah, I think so. So last year was my first year on it, and I kind of struggled a little bit at the beginning of the year, just trying to chase some things, and we found some stuff that was binding up about, half to 3/4 of the way through the year last year, and so we got that fixed, and then I kind of had to go back on some of the things I had done and find home base again. And once we did that, I mean, championship night last year, I ran down here, and I felt like we really kind of found something. And there was just a few small things that maybe I should do, and we tried them at the beginning of the year this year, and it's working.
So kind of the same thing from you're just kind of piggying off of that race last
pretty much.
Year for sure.
When we found it, I came in and I told everybody that night, I was like, yeah, we're there.
And our B-Mod guys, Austin Paul won a lot last year. He's not running with us this year, mainly for our B-Mods. He might a little bit, but it opens the door for a lot of you other guys. And Jared's, trying to figure out his car too. I know I've been talking to him a little bit. He doesn't seem to have things figured out, but how much confidence does it actually give you when you actually get stuff figured out, man? I mean,
a lot. I mean, it's huge. It feels so much better than going out there and just wondering, gosh, where are we struggling? Where do I need to fix it and everything? So, but I mean, Yeah, I mean, Austin's not running this year. You know, he was pretty dominant last year, but Sean was right there all year last year too. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't look quite as fat. Maybe I just found it and I feel a little more even with him this year. You know, but no, there's still some really quality guys out there, so it feels really good. Especially that was my first time having to do it like not from the front row. So that was pretty good too. I mean,
and you've gone from you started out kind of down here in a Jake Murray, and you were in that for a while. Now you've gone to Edge, and you know, local guy out of Red Oak. I know Josh helps his drivers out quite a bit, but how much is it chassis help? How much is it just you figuring stuff out?
Well, I think it's a little of everything. You know, having somebody this close to be able to bounce it off of and stuff like that, you know, and give you some different pointers. And I mean, all of his cars have had a lot of success down here for the
especially in the B mod division.
Yeah, I mean, several years. So I mean, it's not like he's doing something completely wrong or anything, so it never hurts to try anything he's got.
Right, and you know, Cole, we watch a lot of races up here, B-Mod stuff. I don't know how you feel about our B-Mod class, but it seems like we've had a little bit less cautions this year. That's good.
Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of depth in our B-Mods. I think there's a lot of guys that can just go out and win on any given week. And
absolutely.
And that's, you know, he said a lot of bad luck last year, and that's something I noted the first couple nights were just the speed you were showing. It was very impressive. So
I was very I'm not trying to be mean, but I was surprised. I was like, Daniel didn't look like this last year.
Yeah, I think
I didn't.
We were just so used to all the bad luck that it's just, you know.
And you know, it's good to see a guy like you who you know, just a small town racer, got a kid. I saw that picture of the kid on the front bumper, and then that was a cute
a year
picture.
later.
Yeah, that was a cute picture, and you know, it's good to see different guys, you know, in victory lane, and you know, you've always got a smile on your face down here. You're more of a positive guy than some drivers down here, and you know, you've been putting on a great show. I know the first night you were right up there again, and you know, just cautions came out at the wrong time. But did you feel like you almost had it at the end too?
A little bit. I think I kind of misjudged some stuff that night. Did a little second guess, and I probably should have changed one thing back that I did change. Would have probably helped a little bit, but no, I mean, we were pretty good. So
you're just one of those other guys that's. Are you going to run points this year? What are you going to do?
So this is the last year. I'm probably going to say that I'm actually going to try to run the points. We'll see if funding gets a little tight in the middle of the year. I might just pull the plug on it. Who knows? We'll see. After that, it's just going to kind of be when we got time, when we feel like it. So a lot of other things going on.
Kids are expensive.
Yeah, that's all right. He's definitely worth it.
Yes, and well, racing is very expensive. I mean, what, 120, 130 bucks tire now?
Oh, more than that.
More than that, 150 now?
Yeah, probably about 150, 160.
Jesus. Black gold, I tell you.
Yeah, but you can ruin 3 in a night. So,
but tell me a little bit about the race last week. You started where you started, which was a decent starting spot, and you got up there, and were you just aggressive? Were you passive? Did you feel comfortable being out front?
Honestly, at the beginning of the race, I thought we were just going to be mediocre. I tried running the top for a while, you know, and just keeping momentum up, and it worked on the first lap or two. You know, I gained a lot of spots, but a lot of that might have been just congestion. But man, then we just kind of sat there, and I was like, well, this is just going to be one of these nights, I guess. And we got Bryce got under me there in 1 and 2, and we caught a caution. And I was like, well, I'm not going to let that happen again. I guess I'm going to go run the bottom and see what happens. And all of a sudden to the front we went. So. And
you've been running the bottom, I think, more with this car than you ever have.
Yeah, I liked running the bottom with the Jake Murray car too. That was actually one of my favorite things to do is when the bottom had a little moisture in it. I loved getting down there and running right next to the tire and everything.
You're a catfisher at heart.
I like doing it. It's fun. I like the top though too.
So, but you know, Bryce is a great example. You and Bryce both, I don't know what's going on, but you both are the two cars, and you probably noticed it too, on exit. Mm-hmm. You two are the ones that seem to have way more pull than anybody else on exit.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. It's just your setup driving style. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I would bet that Bryce probably got close to the same setup probably you got.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I guess I haven't really asked him too much on what he's got.
I would guess, but Bryce has always been...
He's good. He's fast.
He's always been a catfisher at heart, too.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's always huge here in Corning. I've watched so many races here now. When you can run the bottom here,
yeah,
especially when you're running a Hoosier tire, not a hobby stock, I feel like you have a little bit more of an advantage than everybody else.
As long as there's not too much moisture up top.
Right.
I mean, that's just so much momentum for our game, I think.
And I feel like in that B-Mod feature last week, I feel like the top did get a little dirty because everybody was starting to go to the bottom.
That's what it felt like.
It was dirtying up, and everybody started moving down.
Yep.
And then the stock car feature, it was on the bottom too. Then we moved them tires out, and the hobby stocks cleaned it off. And then that modified feature, man, was just freaking
around the
slick top to. I mean, it was slick top to bottom. But I thought it was a great racetrack last week. I don't know how you felt, but
it was good. It was smooth, nice and smooth, slick. It was fun. Like you said, I mean, there was a little bit of a bottom there when we were out there that was kind of bottom dominant, but it was a thin margin. There were several times I thought I was going to hit the tractor tires. So.
Well, I know that they're going to be. I know they're going to be out maybe a little bit more this week.
Well, that's maybe good to know ahead of time.
Don't hit it.
We were in the grass in 3 and 4 several times.
Yeah,
man, so.
I know. His plan is he's wanting to move it out because during track prep during the week when it rains, especially in the bottom of the entrances and exits, all that water drains there, and it's really hard to dry that out.
Right.
So I think we might try to scoot it out a little bit, keep you guys off the grass.
Well, maybe somebody will hit it once for me and move it down a little.
Right. Do that.
Have you ever caught one of those tires?
Yeah, I clipped one here, but I hit one in Harlan one time. It was actually kind of a little bit of a rough track, and my hood popped up, and the first time through each corner, I looked out my window and I counted how many tires were there, and so then I kind of knew when I could be turning off the corner more.
You're in the car. Okay, 1, 2.
Yeah, no, literally that's what it was. And we went through 3 and 4, and evidently I ran out of fingers and quit counting, and I thought I was done, and I turned that thing down, and I'm telling you, I was headed for the moon. It was just sky.
And you didn't break a left front tire rod? You didn't break a left front?
I hit it so square, it literally just folded the whole nose underneath of it. And I'm pretty sure all I had to do was replace the nose assembly and everything. Yeah.
Because I think Tony Hardesty last week, hit the infield tractor tire and broke a left front tire rod.
Yeah, I did see that. Yep.
So that's what usually happens typically with your open wheels.
I hit it flush. I mean, it was just straight up.
Well, it endoed.
I didn't even have time to be scared. It was so fast.
Well, Daniel, you are a guy that is just you are one of those guys that it's very fun to talk to. You're a good soul, and you've got some people down there that you probably need to thank, sponsors, really quick before we get you out of here. So, who do you want to thank?
All the sponsors on the car. I try to remember them all. You got Scott Concrete jumped on with me this year, so that was nice to get those guys on board. Earl Meyer Construction's been with me a few years now. Griff's Garage is with me this year. Dynamic Ag Works. My mom and dad, our business, Bowdler Plumbing. There's so many on there. CJ's Fab Shop, Huffwell. Sitting here trying to just think of them all in the car, man. It's hard to think of everybody, but there's so many people thinking.
You're doing a good job, though.
Like I told everybody, it's literally the small people, that you wouldn't even think of. Just the people that show up maybe and help you, a few nights here.
That's right.
People who talk to advice. I talk to Clint Garside a lot. He gives me a lot of help.
Yep.
Just so many people. My wife for literally giving me the time to be able to go out here and do everything I do. The crew guys that endless hours.
Right.
Can't thank them enough.
Well, we really appreciate the support that you give us here at the racetrack too. To keep this place alive, and you're a guy that's going to be contending for the win every single week. But we wish you luck. Hopefully, we can keep it straight all year long and keep it out of the tire. And we wish you luck. And maybe you can talk to me again tonight.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, race fans, that was the driver of the 6B B-Mod. That's Daniel Bowdler. As we are going to go to a quick commercial break, and we're going to come right back, and we're going to have another guest. Special guest. Oh, you want to do it right now?
Right now,
Oh, okay. All right. We're doing it right now. Hey, good luck, Daniel. All right. So we're going to do a quick special guest here. Is we're going to get a couple switched out here. We're going to get Cole switched out here. And we're going to go. I think we're going to talk a little bit of Hall of Fame, right?
You betcha.
So we got another. I'm going to say veteran. He's a veteran driver. Right, veteran driver.
I suppose you could call me a veteran. Yes.
So this is Tim Cooney. If you don't know, he's been around the park here a couple times. I think. How many times you think?
Well, I never did count, but it's been a lot of years. More years than laps, maybe.
How many decades? Five decades?
Yeah, I first raced here in 1976.
Jesus.
In a 34 Chevy Coupe with a six-cylinder.
That was 20 years before I was born. So, I don't know.
He keeps finding ways to call us old, Tim. That's the only problem. So it's frustrating.
But we're going to talk Hall of Fame, right?
Real quick, we had Tim helps us head up the Hall of Fame, and we're very proud of that. And we had nominations done a month or so ago, and then we had the ballot, and that we all completed. We had those in by the end of the month there, and we got all those compiled, and we did our voting. We did our tallying, and I'll let you go ahead and start. You remember the 3 drivers?
First, I'd like to just say that we had just a phenomenal return. The amount of people that voted was great. Hopefully, we'll keep this going, make it even better in the future.
Easily our biggest bunch return.
Easily was. And so the drivers that are in our Hall of Fame this year, 2023, will be Joe Zadina,
Smokin' Joe,
Mark Hansen, and Joe Kaziski. And I think that's a great selection of guys. It's really contributed down here.
Absolutely.
Run a lot of classes.
Yep, and I always remember the voting, and we do the tallying, and all those guys have been in there every time pretty much, and they're always real close, and but yeah, I think it's another awesome class, and then we do 3 drivers. We have 2 contributors. Very, very happy with the contributors this year. Why don't you announce those two?
The contributors this year will be Larry Carr, who's contributed a lot down here, raced down here, been around forever, and Jim Wichman. Did many years of flagging and is still involved today.
Yep, he is.
He's doing the mowing for your dad now.
Yeah, and it's glad to have Jim help it. Jim is the flagman for Adams County Speedway. No matter how you look at it, Jim Wichman will always be the flagman for Adams County.
It'll be hard for somebody to ever flag as many years as Jim did.
Without a doubt. I can think of the old ones that we've had over the years, but no, Jim Wichman's always been the flagman at Adams County Speedway. And very, very happy for Jim to be voted in the Hall of Fame. And then we also do one fan every year, and we have a local that's a fan this year too. Very happy.
A guy named Wayne Laird from Prescott, Iowa. Just a phenomenal fan, always here. Gets down to pits after the races. I see him all the time.
Yep.
So it's just a really good deal.
When we contacted Laird, he was real excited, Wayne, and he was real excited. He says, I'd like to have my son there too, and how it works. But, I told Wayne, I said, when we do the picture, we should do it with your son in there too. So without a doubt. But, he's very, very happy. Him and his son come every week, as pretty much as I know. I don't think they ever miss a week hardly. So, but he's been a race fan for as far as I can remember too. So very happy to have Wayne on board. But that is our class of 2023. And anything else you want to add to the Hall of Fame, Tim?
Not at this time, I don't think. Just that it's June 17th.
Correct. That makes sense. Thanks for doing that.
We got to get the date out there, June 17th, and
I got the schedule right here. So we got June 17th is our ACS Hall of Fame night, and I don't know if Mother Nature knows that date, but don't rain.
Yeah.
I don't know how many nights we've had to reschedule.
Sometimes she likes to. Well, last year we didn't have any trouble because we didn't rain out at all last year. So, no, it's always a great night. And who also comes that night to help us out? The cars.
RNS Auto Collectibles.
Yeah, the Southwest Cruisers.
Yep.
Local car club.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll be here again, and everybody that has been voted in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
They have a good time, and we try to treat them great. Get them passes to the decks and all over the place, and
we want all the previous winners that are still here with us. We love to have them come, and a lot of them do come. They really love.
Yeah, and if anybody's watching or listening to this, that's a Hall of Famer, and you want to come that night, come.
Yep.
And we'll let you in. We'll treat you good too.
Absolutely. So
that's right.
Well, Tim, I appreciate you coming on board, and I know you got to go racing. So
yeah, that's the idea tonight. We'll go down there.
You gonna go try to race tonight, or
no? I'm gonna.
No. You're gonna go.
Yes, I'm racing. But if I get starting on the front row again, that gal drives that pace truck. I might have to scoot her along a little bit.
Oh, okay. I'll tell her to get going. No,
she mentioned that before.
She mentioned that you were right up by her, and she goes, Tim was right beside me. Was he supposed to do that? And I'm like, I don't know. He's probably telling you to get going.
He knows what you're doing. He knows what you're doing. So. That was great. So, well, Tim, appreciate it, and
I'll tell her to give you the bird.
We'll have you on board again on that night. I know we look forward to that night, and it'll be a big night for all of us, and it's always a super fun night for the radio show because it's a lot of nostalgia for me, and I love talking to those people.
Yeah, you get to talk to them guys and interview them, and They got a lot to say.
Oh, yeah.
You just got to pry it out of some of them.
You're right. So, Tim, appreciate it a lot.
You bet.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break, everybody, and we're going to be right back with you here on Pitside Live.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah. Best Finish Auto Sales and Service is proud of the quality used vehicles they sell and their dedication to serve the needs of their customers. Whether it's your first purchase or one of many that you've had, you can count on their dedicated sales staff to make the best buying experience possible. They also offer financing on your vehicle purchase. Best Finish can also take care of your service needs, from oil change, brakes, alignment, air conditioning, to any body shop and repair needs. Stop by Best Finish Auto Sales and Service at 209 Sharp Street in Glenwood for all of your vehicle needs.
Welcome back, race fans. Pitside Live here on KCSI 95.3. It is the top of the hour. We'll do a little bit of station identification for you here as you are listening to Country Sunshine Listening Radio. We're also here on the KCSI YouTube page. Do want to give a big shout out to all our sponsors so far that we've had going on. We got Brower Home Improvement, Shore Motor Company, Heartland Foam Insulators, Farm Bureau Elizabeth Davidson, Aiken Building Centers, Best Finish Auto Center, Malvern Bank, SNS Appliance, State Farm Dave Carbaugh, Maddox Roofing in Glenwood, Primrose Restaurant right here in Corning, Farm Bureau Jake Gillespie, he'll probably be here tonight, and Fresco Systems USA. So we got a new guest on the show here. We got Mr. Buddy Heidzik. What is going on, man?
Oh, I don't know. I guess you win. You got to come up here and be important.
You put the show on of the year. If we get a better race than that, I'm gonna lose my pants or something. So it was. I was up here screaming. I was like, "What is going on?" And Cole missed it, and I called. Cole called me, and I told him what happened. He's like, "No, no. Buddy passed Luke." So
yeah,
how'd you do it?
What years of watching him? I mean, that was the key. I got the car from him, and I've learned how he drives, and I drive the car like him. So, I mean, I know what the car needs, and I don't know. It's kind of like cheating, I guess.
I know, and well, I've seen a difference in you're taking more chances this year. You're doing a little bit of a slider line like Luke does a little bit too, and you are starting to look a lot more like him. Yeah. And I know when you first started out, buddy, it was just it was kind of well, where's Buddy out here? Oh, hold on, buddy, just chill out. Now it's like, Jesus, you got something figured out, and this car. I know it was Luke's last year, but man, you two are just freaking fast.
Yeah, I wish I could have got one last year in this 12 victory. I mean, I was close there, but we never really scaled the car. But the night he come from the very tail of the field to pass me, we put it on the scales and figured out why he was able to do that. And we come out this year, we already knew where the car needed to be. So I mean, it's been fun, and running that short track that we did last year, that really helped out. I think because you're in traffic all the time, and I think that's the biggest improvement from last year is just to be able to get through the traffic.
So when Luke passed you, what'd you say? Not again?
Well, just the same thing I did every time he pulled up from me. Beside me under the cautions, told him he was number one. And
yep.
And I think he figured it out, and I think anybody on the backstretch knew because I had to clear out the window telling him he was number one.
Well, so you were out front, and caution came out, and Luke pulls right up beside you, and you're on the backstretch. I'm like, oh, he's probably giving him the number one right here. They're probably telling him what's going on. So, but you probably just told yourself, not again, not this time.
Yeah, I was, and if we could have had one less caution, I think that last week would have been a lot better. I think it would have come down that last lap, but we had that restart, and I just missed that mark, getting him down on him, and then I had to follow him. And
well, tell me what you said about Jim Toll too. You thought?
Oh yeah, I went back and watched Darla's video, and I'm like, I was like, what the heck are they talking about? Jim won. Like, Buddy didn't win. And then they told me, they were like, no, he had some issues. And I'm like, oh, okay.
He was a lap down.
Yeah, well, he almost was. He did stay out just barely.
Yeah, I was going to say, technically he wasn't a lap down.
I should have asked him. I said, Jim, was it your goal to stay on the lead lap, or what was going on here?
I don't know. And he come over because we set that car up for him, and in the heat race, he said it just wasn't working. But apparently, when Luke and I are beside him, he figured out that he knew how to drive it, and heck, he looks good. So it'll be interesting to see if he remembers how to drive tonight, or or if we struggle again.
We need to go. What we need to do just to screw with him is we need to go buy a move over flag and put it on his car and say, here, this is what this flag means. It means get out of the way.
Well, I can't remember. I don't think he got it last week, so maybe that's what's going to be his excuse. So
he's probably like, well, I didn't even see it. You know how he is. Got the cowboy. How he's probably like, I didn't even see it. So, but you put on a great show, and I'll tell you what. I think you got something going on here to where I feel like if you can just keep her straight and keep everything under you, you're going to be right there at the end of the year.
I think so. And I think key is just getting through traffic and getting out in front, and then make Luke have to chase me instead of me have to chase him. I think that'll be the key is getting out ahead of him. Because, he does have a little more seat time than me, obviously. So, there's still things I got to learn to catch up to him, but
yeah,
we're a lot closer on the even page now.
And everybody was kind of talking last week. It's like I think everybody was just shocked because when Luke passed you, everybody was like, well, probably here we go again. And restart came out, and you just freaking took it right to him. And I was just like, all right, here we go. And last corner, he gave you a little door, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he was fighting his car. Farther, I could tell he was having trouble. He had a right front when it was clear flat time we got done. So I knew there was something. But, still, he wasn't just getting out of my way and letting me have it. And so
he's making you work for it.
Yeah.
And but I think if I took a snapshot in my mind of what the stands looked like, everybody was on their feet.
And from everybody that's reached out on Facebook or come and said something to me or Snapchat, it's just amazing how many people will come up and tell me congratulations and everything. And so it was really sweet.
Well, we're going to be on Facebook Live tonight through KCSI, so you'll be able to go back and watch your races. This time, I wish you would have done it last week, but I know Darla had a video last week.
I seen quite
big thanks to her for doing that. We always appreciate when people do that kind of stuff because it allows you drivers to go back and look at your stuff.
And you get different angles from everybody, and that's what's really nice. And that helps.
But you've come a long way, I feel like, buddy, from when you first started. I know you've always been in the hand-me-down equipment, but this year it's not really hand-me-down.
Well, technically
it is. I didn't get the new car like he did, so
I think the new car's faster, or the old car's faster.
That's what Scotty said too. He built it, but he's still kind of dialing it in. So for no more races than we've got on it,
you better look out. I think the orange. I think Luke's going to be like, I want that car. You can have the new one.
I'll give you my orange one from Bristol. He'll really like that one.
Now, when you hopped in that car, did you notice a huge difference right away from the old car? Was it just
from the pink machine, right?
The difference is it wasn't as wore out. You go from that 12 victory. You look at all the wins it had and just races. That car. It had a little bit more character to it, but it was still a fast car. And
it wasn't all the wins. It was all the things it's hit.
That's the character.
The only thing I was disappointed was the top never did fall off, because I remember Travis, he'd follow me, he could tell who I was, he didn't have to see anything because the top, you go down there, just sit there and shake back and forth.
That thing's been through hell, man.
It has, and apparently it's been on that car since it was brand new, so it's hard to believe something lasts that long.
How many times has it been rolled?
I
know at least twice.
I think I'd say not a whole lot, but a couple times.
You rolled it once, right? No,
that was mine.
That was yours.
That was mine. That was the one that didn't make it out of Bristol.
I remember that because I remember you at Bristol. I remember that was
fun. That was so much fun. I was so happy that day.
I watched that race and they didn't have it, I think, on XR, but they veered the camera over and I see Buddy and I'm like, well, that car's junk.
It was.
So you guys drove all the way down there to do that, but you had Cletus McFarland with you guys.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh my God!
Wish we could go back again just because. It's completely different, but it was a blast.
Now is he? So I've actually back when I was really into drag racing, I got to hang out with him for a day, and he's so down to earth.
He fit in. I mean, he's just like all those people out in Southwest Iowa. The only difference is he videos everything, and we don't. Which I don't think I'd want everything I do video.
He's a little bit more technologically inclined than we are.
Probably.
I don't know if I'd say that if you've seen some of the stuff they do. I mean, he is as redneck as it gets in Florida, so it's
it's fun.
You guys, I mean, you guys have a crew down there now, and what's up with the? I'm waiting for Sam to let go of the dog one of these days, and the dog's just gonna take off.
He does. That's the problem.
The dog comes down, but I was chuckling a little bit during your guys' Victory Lane picture. I was like, can we get any more? Let's just get the whole pits down here. Come on, there's like 75 people. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, we bring a family. I mean, bring a lot of people come. So,
but I know your dad and your mom just gave up the bowling alley, so that's going to be different for them. Are you going to get them down to the racetrack? Or?
Well, the sad part is last week he come from junior high track, and I dropped him off, and he went home, and afterwards, I talked to him on Sunday. He was kind of disappointed he didn't stay because he thought about it, but he'd been sitting in the bleachers all day, and he's just, I need to go home and sit.
Because he's got Saturday nights off now.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a bowling alley to worry about, so.
Unless he's got to take calls, so.
Yeah, true.
That's what was kind of nice about seeing JD in the car last week, and
yeah.
So.
And I know you got I know your kids. Your son's in middle school now. I know him a lot more now from teaching at Lennox, and they seem pretty excited. I talked to your son a little bit there on Monday, and he's like, I asked him, I said, could you believe it? And he goes, honestly, no.
So that's what made it really sweet last week is, if I'd have won the first week out, my kids was with their mother, which, whatever, but they was here last week, and I said, that just, I get out of the car, Evie's sitting there, and she's like, I'm about to cry, and I'm like, well, don't be doing that.
Well, you about did, too.
I did. Well, I was all right, and then she said that, I'm like, son of a gun, and I'm like.
When you got out of the car, you were starting to tear up a little bit. I knew it meant a lot to you, and your son was right there, too, and that just shows the amount of support that you guys really do have down there. I mean, you got a whole flipping list here.
Yeah, Sam was nice. She got it, made it out.
Look, Ray, this is printed. Look at this.
After Luke's list.
Buddy did not do this. I guarantee you, this was Sam.
Nope, Sam did it today. That way it was easy. That way you don't forget the sponsors. You shouldn't forget the people you're supposed to thank.
Well, Luke's got a written paper, and it's not Luke's handwriting. There's no. It's some I think it's Sam's handwriting.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think Luke would. Yeah, Sam has to go through and do it, and then he just reads it and.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and thank some people. I know you got a lot there. So
I got Toll Farms, Goodson Family, Dally Post, TC Fabrication, 3SS, Tri-County Vet Services, KMJ Performance, Swartz Plumbing, Radine Darshide, Craftston Napa, Underdog Wrap and Design, which I'm really liking how he got my wrap this year.
It looks very good.
Oh, it's
and
nice.
I know it appreciates my dad because my dad's. You can read the number.
Yes, it is. It stands out. Got Brandon Salvage, Murphy Family Farms, Dynamic Drive Lines, Ramsey Grinding, Chris Hogan, Finish Line Designs, Don's Body Shop, Rich and Judy O'Grady, Hawkeye Auto Salvage, True Farms, O'Reilly Oil Company, Darla's Dirt Fix Photos, LS Race Cars and Performance Parts, Barron's Ags, Meharry Law Office, Alan and Lori Goodson, Hewlett and Sons, LT Farms, which they come on this year, which has been nice. Have a snack coming to the track. And
we had some snack mix last week. I still got some from our Lennox PTO from work, and
it's good.
And this stuff's good. I mean, you start eating and eat the whole bag in about 5 minutes.
That's the bad part. But as far as family and that, I got to thank Colton, Brindley, and Everly, and then Luke and Sam and all their kids. They're all down there washing the cars every week. My mom and dad, and obviously Duke, because I think he's only missed like 2 Victory Lane photos since last year, and then. Got Jesse and Scotty who builds the cars and that, and I got Dee Dee and Bobby Joe and Harley and Goody Hudson and Drew. Can't forget Lewis. So,
Lewis was the star of the show at the banquet last year, and he talked about them Chiefs. He's like, "No, you're wrong."
Right? Yeah. And then JD, Eric, Robert, Jeremy Swartz, Hunter, Rev, Bethany, Bubbles. Jeremy Reed, and then I also got to thank my number one fan that I think hates me more than anybody, and that's Cannon, and because Frank keeps telling me whenever I'm out in front, I'm beating Tyler, he's always cussing me and everything else. He hates when I do good, so I got to make sure and throw a shout out to him.
Just tell him to tell Tyler to get faster.
He don't care. He still hates me. But yeah, I can't do it without everybody.
And you got a big group there, and it takes an army. I know. And especially with what you guys got going on. I mean, Luke runs his own business. You've got kids. I mean, it takes a lot. And last thing, this guy right here.
We keep trying.
We need to get him back. Chris Hogan, if you're listening, we need to get you back in a race car. I'm talking to your son, Ryder. We got to get you back in a race car. But that's just my deal. So.
Yep, I would agree.
But, well, we better wrap this up. We got a little bit more to do. But, buddy, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You put on a show last week, and, hey, 2 in a row.
Let's try. No reason not to.
You're going to have to pass some cars again tonight.
I passed just me
that's
last
all right.
week.
So,
you know how to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, race fan, that's a driver number 16, Chat Mobility Hobby Stock. It's Buddy Heidzik, and we're gonna. You want to take a quick break, Dad, or you ready to get? All right, we're ready to get one more guy in here. Oh, we're gonna get this strapping young gentleman in here, and we're live here. This is coming into the YouTube channel here. This is old Buck Wild, Buck Shafroth, and. You got a fast hot rod, and you're catfish at heart. You catfish at Stewart the other night. I mean, do you ever run the top anymore?
Well, I mean, if it's up there, yeah.
Oh, bull-oney.
Our cars work really well on the bottom.
So I don't know if you know this, but we got something planned at intermission. So did you answer the questions at the gate?
Oh, yeah, I failed them big time.
So we're going to get you up here on the front stretch. Your mom is going to be up there. The most getting right, there's 3 groups. It's Jared Weston and his mom, you and your mom, and then we're going to do Hunter Poston and his mom.
I already lost.
You don't think she'll get him right?
Well, we'll see.
Well, you have to think. It's questions that your mom can answer.
Okay.
So hopefully your mom knows a lot more about you than you think. So.
Oh, she does.
Okay. So I think that'll be fun, race fans. We're going to do that on the front stretch tonight. We're going to get some Mother's Day stuff going, and I think Tracy will have a fun time with it.
Oh yeah, she'll have a blast.
So, well, Buck, you've been all over the place the past couple years. You've been moving up the ranks in that IMCA deal, and you guys are right in there with Sniper now, and you guys got a strong program going on, and it's something that you started from. I remember when you first started. I remember Ryan Carlson was down there. You guys pitted right down there in the corner. And you had it was a car that I think your dad had bought, and it was a POS.
Oh yeah,
and you
hey, but it was a race car.
I know.
Back then, that's what I wanted,
and that's where you started. And look at where you are now.
Yep.
Would you have ever imagined?
I honestly, I don't think I could. I figured, we'd be Saturday night home track racers my whole life, and I got my fortunate team down there to thank. Todd, my mom, my dad for getting me into it. My dad's still involved, so that's great.
And I mean, you grew up with it. You grew up with your dad racing, and your mom, and Todd started getting on board and helping you. And I know from where you started, I would have never believed where you'd be at by now. You started getting better in a hobby stock, and I remember at Stewart especially when you started racing Stewart. And then Corning, I feel like that's when stuff really started taking off.
Yep. So I personally believe going out and venturing out racing Stewart's where I started racing first, and then all them other tracks, it just helped me as a driver get comfortable in a pack of cars, because at them little tracks you don't have a choice. You're in a pack the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps there, and then you get to see how other people race, and it makes you race harder.
And I know you're one of the main reasons why I started going up to Stewart, because I had never really been up there before, and I know their car count wasn't very good, and then Mike got on board up there, and then everything just started spitballing from there, and you just kind of took off. I mean, then you got in a stock car, and I remember it was the old Bud Light car.
Yep.
And you picked up a track championship here. And now you're racing here and Boone and all over the place now. You come down here when Boone's about to rain out and things like that. But I'm just very impressed with where you're at. I mean, you are one of the cleanest drivers around here, and I will say that to anybody. Buck is not a dirty driver. I mean, you don't beat on anybody. You put on a show, and, I mean, you got something going on. And I don't know how you feel, but I feel personally that you're to a point now where you're a contender everywhere you go.
Well, I really appreciate that, and we try to be, we try to have the best cars we can put on the track each and every night. My crew especially, they work really hard. They all have full-time jobs, and then they spend all night working on the cars, making sure me and Todd and and the Bobcat, we have the best cars we can possibly have each and every night, and I think that's a big key. And then, like you said, we've all raced all over, and that's more time in the seat, more drivers you race against, different tracks. It just all comes into play and makes you a little bit better.
So I'm curious. I haven't really asked you this. Do you want to move up?
I don't know. Todd's always raced a modified, so I've always kind of wanted to drive one. But I really like where we're at in the stock car program, and I love what we got going. And as far as IMCA world goes, all the big mod guys, we're all getting stock cars. So that's saying something. It's class 2 tough to tame.
Right. I mean, it's yes, that's a Jonathan Logue statement there. He says it all the time.
Oh yeah.
No, it's stock cars are my favorite. I know Cole loves stock cars too.
Oh yeah. And my old man, he always races stock cars. So that's the thing too. But yeah, I believe the stock car racing around in the state of Iowa, let alone in the whole Midwest, is some of the best put on shows at each and every track you can go to.
It is the best.
I've seen some good mod shows. Last year at Stewart during one of the races, there was a really good race. But
from an IMCA stock car standpoint, Iowa IMCA stock car racing is the best. I don't care what anybody says. The state of Iowa has the best stock cars, and I will say that hands down. I know the Nebraska Dirt Crown Series is getting up there too, but you guys are just another prime example of guys who support your local tracks, but also venture out, and you guys have kind of made a name for yourself.
Right.
And you guys have got a big race coming up here, I know, in a couple weeks. I will be up there watching. I love that race. It's the
whole hog 50.
Whole hog 50 up at Stewart. It's a 5,000 to win race. I love that race. And I know our goal is down here for the tradition. We really want to we're going to get a big show down here as well. I know we've been talking to Dirt Crown. We've been talking, and we are. It will be a Dirt Crown race.
Yeah.
And it's going to be big money.
Yep.
So, and I know that's something that I know you're going to want to be chomping at the bit for, because I don't know how you feel, Buck, but at any racetrack, your best chance to win $5,000 is right here.
It could be. I have a hard time with that. I really like the Super Nationals, but we might see if we can't work something out and get one of the cars down here at least.
Right. I know.
But I can't promise nothing.
I know, but I'm just saying, I know that you are a favorite every time you race here. It's something that you've grown up here, and you're just one of those guys that I think you could run a modified and be really good here too. So. But again, Buck, you've improved so much over the years. I've watched you. I mean, you're the same age as me. We went to high school together. And again, I never would have guessed where you would be at now. And, I'm proud, to just watch you. And, I always root for you. And I love watching you guys race, because you guys always put on a good show. And I never would have guessed Todd to be racing a stock car, but he is.
Oh, he did race my car. That first time he raced my car up at Stewart, I had a messed up finger and I couldn't drive. So we put Todd in the stock car. We numbered it the V92 for the night. And he was out there trading paint with Tony Hardesty up at Stewart, scraping the wall, and he got out of the car with the biggest smile on his face, and I knew he was hooked right then.
Because how many years? I mean, Todd raced the modified here for, God, a long time.
As long as I can remember. Yeah. As long as I've been alive up until he got the stock car.
So I never would have guessed, where you guys would be at. But
you remember me? I was a little...
You were a little ornery.
I was a little ornery. We'll just say ornery. Me and the crew, we like to have fun, but we weren't the most behaved kids.
One of my best friends is Ryan Carlson, and he used to hang out with you in high school. And I know some things that are not need to be said on live, feed here, but you guys were ornery.
Oh yeah, and that's just putting it nice.
I'm serious. I never would have guessed you and Matt and all those guys where you would be at. I mean, look at Matt now. I mean, he's in a B mod, and he's top notch too, and I would have never guessed that either. And it's just really good to see you guys, do well, not just here but other places, because you guys will always be from here, and it's just something that
it takes a lot of hard work, dedication, time in the shop. You you can do it by yourself, but there's no way I could do what we were doing without my great, phenomenal crew down there.
Thanks some more people here really quick. So
I'd like to thank all my sponsors. It's about hot lap time. I better get going.
Yep, you better get going. So, all right, so we're going to get him going here, and that was the driver, the 92. Buck, we'll wish you luck tonight. And
hopefully you can go for 3 in a row.
That's right, 3 in a row. So that's driver 92 stock car. You want to take another quick break here really quick? We'll take one more last break. Go ahead and click 2 on that. And Buck's got to go down and do some hot lapping, and we'll be right back with you.
Oh.
Feeders Grain and Farm Supply in Corning, representing the most recognized and trusted brands in the industry, as well as locally sourced products. Stop by and see a full lineup of Purina products to handle all of your livestock needs. And if you need Sioux steel gates, they've got you covered. Browse the store and they're confident you'll find what you're looking for, or they'll order it in for you. Feeders Grain and Farm Supply in Corning, supporting all of 4-H and FFA members. That's Feeders Grain and Farm Supply in Corning.
Subscribe to the KCSI Radio YouTube channel today. Interviews, parades, events, contests, and more. Subscribe to KCSI Radio on YouTube and get notified every time something fun happens.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels, giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camlin Mechanical or visit camlinmechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Welcome back to Pitside Live race fans here at KCSI Radio 95.3 FM and the YouTube channel KCSI YouTube Live, where we're going to announce also right now real quick that those of you tuning in, you don't have to log off if you don't want to, because we're going to be showing some racing live tonight also. So really excited about that. We're going to be doing YouTube Live on the races tonight. So really want to make sure we push that out there. And also big thank you to Hawaii Trucking. I know I got some of their folks in here right now in the suite ready to watch the races, so we're happy to have them on board. Very, very happy to have Hawaii Trucking, truck repair here tonight, helping us out, sponsoring the races, and helping us out with our water truck that we got this year. So really thankful for that. Also, thank you to Tim Cooney for announcing the Hall of Fame class this year. Really appreciate that, and thank you to all the guests we had tonight. Cole, great job tonight filling in for me, helping me getting this stuff going, because trying to run through all these people and organize them, because everybody came at once tonight. So.
Yeah, it kind of goes that way sometimes. Yep. I feel like
it's kind of like a bullpen back in the cabin here, trying to keep track of everybody.
I told Buddy and Buck that they had to fight over who was going to be first, so I don't know.
Well, we got some cars rolling into the infield. We have right now we got 82 cars checked into the Adams County Speedway. I know my goal is 80, so we already beat my goal tonight. Right now we got 16 compacts, 22 hobby stocks, 9 stock cars, 18 B mods, and 17 modifieds here tonight. Put on another great show here of NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Racing. And also want to give a big shout out to all our sponsors that sponsor Pitside Live. Can't do it without you guys. And also big thanks to Aaron and Aaron and the gang back there at Red Oak, and they're also going to be here. And Aaron, is this your wife's first time here?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. Okay, but this is the first time that we're doing a YouTube Live tonight, so we are going to we're gonna it's kind of gonna be a dry run tonight, and right, Cole, and we'll see how it goes. So
we'll get to hear you guys. That's the good thing.
Yep, me and Cole, so we'll be talking all night long. So
logged in there.
And you got to do a feature lineups, because I'm out of breath by the time I'm walking up the stairs. So.
Yeah, I think I can take care of that. we'll let you catch your breath, and I think as you see, if you can see it in the background,
should be able
on
to.
Track for hot laps.
You can see the backstretch a little bit back there. So we got some stock cars out there right now.
We need to radio to them, run a little lower on the front stretch so they can see them.
Yeah,
right.
That's neat. I hope you can hear the roar of the cars too. This is what I like about it when we're live here. And then, like we just said a million times now, is just continue to stay in on the live channel tonight because we're going to show some racing live tonight. Really excited to get our feet wet on that and do some experimenting with that. We're really happy to be able to do that. Real quick again, also can't say this enough, folks. If you see the back of my screen here, those of you can see, is make sure you go online tonight, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, and vote for us on the $50,000. We're trying to win $50,000 from Advance My Track Challenge. We got third place last year, and we were going for first this year, so we want to really push it. We need your help. Vote 3 times a day with as many email accounts as you have, or even invent some. Like
Go
Evan
ahead
did.
and create some.
So, but we need your help to vote as many times as you can.
Vote.
We're going against some big tracks, and it's fun. It's amazing to us that we get in the top 5 every year with the size of the tracks we're going against in the United States. So, but we're against Alaska, we're against Canada this year. So it's
in the French province.
Yeah.
So
if you look on live, it's English and French. So
we racing.
So that's cool. That's neat to have international fan base like that for NASCAR and racing. So
I tell you what, I'm looking over my shoulder. I see a for sale sign on John Kim's car.
That's a bunch of BS.
I don't know if that's a joke or if that's for real, but maybe if he puts the for sale sign on it, he'll go out and get a win.
I see we got David Nail here for the first time in our stock cars.
Car too.
Yep,
Very
Underdog put a great wrap on that. So
I'm going to tell you what, folks, really happy to have you on board with us. I'm going to make sure I've got my system logged in here because we're going to be wrapping up the show here real quick. Also, really quick is tune in. Make sure you're here May 27th for our wingless sprint race we're happy to have. Followed up by the week after that, the first week of June, with our Ray Hawk Memorial Super Late Model Series race, which we look forward to those every year. Those are big for us. But anything else you guys want to add?
I think we're ready to rock and roll. What about you?
Yeah, I'm ready to get back to it after a week off. So
there you go.
I'm just excited to see some racing. Hope we get some little bit of action similar to last weekend.
All right, let's see if I can get this thing to kick out, and we sure will.